The movie begins in a house where some individuals are packing drugs. The protagonist, Terry Savage, sneaks in to steal money from this group. He then proceeds to rob all the cash. However, upon leaving the house, he is shocked to find the presence of the police, and he gets arrested. Upon checking his record, it's revealed that he's a former soldier with numerous medals from missions in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. Later, during interrogation, Detective Harvey Clark asks him why he committed the theft. Terry responds that he couldn't bear to cover the expenses for his sick daughter. Detective Harvey offers him assistance on the condition of sending him to jail to find evidence against the corrupt prison director. Despite initially refusing, Terry agrees upon learning the punishment for theft. All for the sake of his daughter. After bidding farewell to his sick daughter and providing Harvey with contact information for prison communication, Terry arrives at the prison. Lieutenant Killian explains the prison rules to the new inmates, and upon reaching his cell, Terry finds a phone containing information to send evidence once found. The next day, Lieutenant Killian wakes the inmates harshly for breakfast. One prisoner pours Terry's food on the ground, demanding he kiss his feet, but Terry refuses. Later, while Terry is wandering in the prison yard, he's approached by another inmate named Freewheel, who invites him to join their mafia-affiliated gang, but Terry declines and remains solitary. Later, while cleaning, Terry witnesses a group of Mexican inmates complaining to Freewheel about the responsible person attacking them with knives. But he overpowers them. In another cell, a member of the Mexican gang attacks him, but a prisoner named Bones comes to his aid. Suddenly, to solitary confinement, where Terry remembers his sick daughter. The director punishes the Mexicans who attacked Terry. Then, he informs Terry about his special prison and its critical affairs. To further excite him, he establishes a fighting championship named Dinoga, allowing inmates to battle the strongest ones for betting money. The director provides Terry with fighting attire and places him in a cell with another prisoner, sent by Gina to his new cell, where he finds Bones, who helped him earlier. Bones advises Terry to forget the outside world and learn to survive in prison, offering his help afterward. Records the combat on his phone while the director sits in his chair. The other prisoners cheer for Freewheel, who defeats 2 inmates. Then, they ask Terry to face a member of the Mexican gang. Terry defeats him, learning from Bones about their fighting style. Later, the director offers Freewheel any reward he desires after his overwhelming victory, but Freewheel wants to know why Bones helped Terry. The director explains it was Bones' choice, then reminds Freewheel of their deal to release him and threatens him regarding his friend's safety, explaining his plan to pit Freewheel in another fight. However, with the strongest fighter in the prison and the promise of release upon winning, Terry faces a formidable opponent. After some time, Terry's lawyer, Janet, visits after taking on his case, aiming to help him get released. Terry refuses but learns from her about prison corruption and human trafficking. She urges Terry to contact her if he needs assistance before leaving. Later, in battle with Zed, considered the best fighter, demanding more training. The battle begins in the cell, where Terry stuns everyone and defeats Zed with one powerful blow before leaving the scene. In the cell, Terry asks Bones about his life, to which Bones reveals how he was charged with murder. The next day, inmates see Terry as a threat, and 2 prisoners attack him with knives, but guard Jenna intervenes, stopping the fight. Accidentally, one prisoner stabs her and flees, leaving her in Terry's care. Afterward, the director thanks Terry for his heroic act in saving the guard and protecting his reputation. Terry requests a battle between him and Freewheel, while Freewheel scolds his men for acting without his permission. The director gathers the inmates who attacked Terry and orders the killing of 2 of them for breaking the rules, witnessed by Freewheel, who denies ordering it. The director then forces Terry and Freewheel to fight. Terry confronts Freewheel, who remains silent, leaving Terry to train with Bones. Terry writes to Detective Harry that he intends to fight Freewheel, continues rigorous training, and reminisces about his daughter. Later, in the fight arena, the director announces the battle between Terry and Freewheel. As the spectators cheer and the intense fight ensues, Terry emerges victorious. Later, Terry sends the detective a video of the fight for publication but receives no response. The next day, the inmates acknowledge Terry as their new hero, and the director displays his strength to the other inmates. Terry describes them as fathers and leaders who found no rehabilitation in prison. The director offers Terry the role of ruling the prison, but Terry refuses. The director then shows him a special place where prohibited items are made. Terry names it slavery, but the director calls it freelance work. The director promises Terry more enjoyment, but Terry says he'll think about it. Terry takes a small amount of contraband as the director shows him the bodies of those who attacked him, but Terry only wants to be with his daughter. Later, the director takes Terry to Detective Harvey, shocking Terry with their collaboration. The director explains they are friends who share profits. Initially refusing, Terry is compelled to participate in a fight against a prisoner from another jail and then leaves Harvey. Later, Terry and Bones plan to overthrow the director and inform the other inmates, while Janet, the lawyer, is summoned and handed evidence. Eventually, the massive prisoner Chocker and the guard from the other prison arrive, astonishing the director, who agrees to the bet on their fight for $100,000. The decisive battle begins, with Terry blinding Chocker with powder he obtained earlier and attacking him, while remembering his daughter. He signals other inmates to follow the plan, and they attack the guards. The visiting guard flees, while the director attempts to escape but is cornered by the officer and apprehended. Terry then confronts the director, leading to a fight where Bones comes to his aid, but the director grabs a gun and shoots, only to be apprehended by the police. Later, Janet explains how she retrieved the evidence from Terry and informed the police about the corrupt organization. This leads to Terry being granted a general amnesty, and the state takes care of his daughter's treatment. Later, we see Terry thanking Bones and bidding farewell to the inmates. Then taking his daughter from the hospital, celebrating with gifts before heading home. Eventually, Terry sends Janet to release Freewheel and the other bodies from prison, leaving the director in a state of shock. And thus, the end.